think the content cop was great. Ian approached it in a way that nobody else does. He approached it with empathy. It was supposed to make people feel bad for Ethan.
No! Totally delusional. It wasn't empathetic at all. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Ah! Okay. Okay. Ooh, that's kind of. This doesn't feel like the most honest engagement from Frogan. I've got to be honest.
Crimes against humanity.
No! What do you mean? This is not a clarification. This is doubling down. No, I thought it was a misspeak. Based? I thought it was a misspeak. It was a horrible, horrendous misspeak that you regretted. No. We've done Hasan. Now we need to go to Hasan if he were a woman with no charisma and not just culturally Muslim. Okay, let's have a look at Frogan. So I think
Hi, my name is Frogan,
and I've got no idea what the fuck she thinks she can like respond to, and also this seems like a long time coming because like people have been talking about Frogan for years now. Her criticism is hugely disproportionate to her size because she is so bad. Because she's just like awful and stuff. I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. If anything, she's got a disproportionately low amount of hate relative to her size. No, okay. Because she's like a what? She's like 100 viewer Andy, and she has been for like years, right? Twitch stat. Sully Gnome. Let's have a gander. Okay. Because I don't want to. No, I don't want to look at peak viewership. I don't want to look at peak view. Jesus. I want to look at total, like average viewership. I want to look at average viewership. Okay. Let's have a look. So she had a few... Jesus. Yeah, so 110 viewer average there. Damn, okay. Let's bring it a little bit more into focus. So she's probably got like huge spikes of attention. Like every now and again. But I think she just seems to be one of these Hasan waiting room people. Oh, okay. And the huge spike she has gets to like, you know, like 3,000 or whatever. And she's had like a few of those over her career. I mean, if she goes to like the most recent kind of few months, this is going to be considering like, I guess, part of the drama, but okay. It doesn't seem like she's got any kind of consistent viewership. Well, not much of a consistent viewership. The big spikes are probably hosts. Yeah, that's probably true. She's well connected, but just AstroTurf to fuck, it seems like. Yeah. But it doesn't seem like there's much consistency there at all. And so I've heard people say that she's like super AstroTurfed. I don't realize quite how bad it was until having a look at this. Jesus Christ. Okay. So, yeah. But she's very AstroTurfed, to be fair. But proportional to her actual like size in terms of like her audience who are there for her, not because they've been sent by somebody else. Like it's very, very, very small, and yet she's managed to like, you know, kind of say, and I guess just kind of awful inflammatory stuff enough to kind of get on a lot of people's radars to end up fighting with her. But she will respond back in the most arrogant, annoying way possible. So I don't know what her response is going to be, but let's have a gander.
And this is the first time I'm ever making a solo YouTube video about everything that has happened the last year and a half. I address everything on my podcast, Arabs, which you can find the link below, but today it's just going to be you and I. I think the content cop was great. You know, I feel like Ian approached it in a way that nobody else does. He approached it with empathy, and, you know, it was supposed to make people feel bad for Ethan.
No, it's made to make people feel bad for iDubbbz, okay? This is so annoying. I don't know. This just feels like PR since she was, like, in the video. Totally delusional. It wasn't empathetic. It wasn't empathetic at all. It was like emotionally manipulative in parts, getting a bunch of people who like had like basically like talked smack on him, or like, you know, kind of spread the narratives and parroted the narratives that led to the CPS being called on his house, just coming together to say like a nice thing about him, like vast majority of which were backhanded, including Frogan's. I mean, yeah, it's not empathetic at all. It's like, oh my god, okay. Okay.
One of the main things, especially as content creators, people tend to dehumanize us and forget that we're living normal people just like you. So obviously, with so much pressure on the internet.
Oh yeah, at the lofty heights of Frogan's fame, it's easy to forget that at the end of the day, she's just like you and me, guys. She's just like, yeah, we know you're just like, we know you're just like you and me. Jesus Christ, fucking hell. No, it's not because you're famous, okay? It's not because you're famous and people have like a celebrity dynamic going on with you. It's because like it's a low engagement like space. Like to engage, to leave a comment, you don't really have to think about it. Something annoys you, and you can essentially just leave the most horrific comment possible. That's it. People don't forget that you're a real person. If you were to ask them, is Frogan actually real? They'd say, I mean, some of the size might be fake, but I think she is actually a real human being. Yeah. I think a lot of people just find somebody who like they just hate, they dislike, they see no like redeeming qualities or whatever from them. They get annoyed by them, and then yeah, like Hasan has redeeming qualities. Frogan does not, at least from what I've seen. I don't know if Denims does either.
Both on myself, and I'm sure Ethan can relate to this too. It's fucking hell. It's hard to manage. It's hard to deal with. So I feel like Ian approached it in a way that was more so holding a friend accountable and in a softer way, and wanted to generate empathy for Ethan. Other people don't do that. And I've even said this before. I feel like we need to stick to the basics as to why Ethan Klein deserves to be criticized, and that is for being pro-Israel and trying to deplatform pro-Palestinian content creators.
Who has he tried to deplatform?
I think it's insane to involve his children and anybody else that really doesn't deserve the criticism. I think Kayla deserves the criticism as well too, because she says some batshit crazy things on the podcast as well. And I've said this, and I'll say it again. If you're spewing pro-Israel propaganda, I'm going to call you out about it. I received a text asking to say something nice about Ethan, and to be honest, I thought about it long and hard, because I was like, this man does not deserve anything nice from me.
Jesus Christ. Okay. One sec. So catching up on that, who the f has he tried to deplatform? I might be like behind on my lore. I've got no clue who he's tried to deplatform. He's commented on like Twitch being like lax about Hasan and people like that with their like their ban policy, and said that it seems obviously like slanted. I can't remember that he said anything. I thought Content Nuke had a call to action. I could be wrong. No, his lawsuits aren't attempted deplatform. His lawsuit with Noah Sampson, for example, just doesn't have anything to do with like YouTube as the company or getting him like, I don't know, banned from YouTube. The Content Cop had a call to action? I don't know. But is it for being pro-Palestinian? Or is he said about people who, like, I don't know, endorse terrorist organizations? I don't know.
On the podcast as well. And I've said this, and I'll say it again. If you're spewing pro-Israel propaganda, I'm going to call you out about it. I received a text asking to say something nice about Ethan, and to be honest, I thought about it long and hard, because I was like, this man does not deserve anything nice from me. But I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. Maybe it'll give me some closure. So I wrote a letter to Ethan, and I read it off and iDubbbz put it in the video, and this was Ethan's reaction to the video.
I bet you would.
I will be reading my letter off because I don't want to sound robotic. H3 used to be the sports for good that I used to watch. I hope that one day gets back to what I remember. You were one of the inspirations for me to start creating content, so all this has stunk. I hope you really hear this, and I wish you the best.
Listen,
Thank you.
Frogan, she's so dumb that you almost can't be even mad at her.
She did wish us the best in the end. It almost felt like the nicest one of them all.
I think she was the only one being genuine,
Yeah.
actually. So I don't want to, whatever, just Frogan, just chill, okay? Just stop being an idiot and I'll stop talking about you. It's really simple math.
She's also by far the smallest creator of the bunch.
Right.
I mean, is it even like cool that he included?
Ooh, that's gotta by far. They had Sean the Black in there. Not being racist, that's his username. They had Sean the Black in there, and Frogan is by far the smallest creator. Oh, that's gotta sting.
Included her? Like, she's just gonna get more shit for being involved.
It's not cool.
And like, it's not. It's
he knows what like this entails.
This part made me laugh because it was very tone deaf, and he's acting like half of his content nuke wasn't about me. Half of the content nuke, the entire ending half, was about me.
Was it?
So if I'm so irrelevant and so uncool to include, why the was I in your goddamn video?
Like, Hasan can handle it, but like Frogan's now just.
The reason, I don't even know if this is true. I'm gonna have to have a look at the content nuke. Hold on. Let's have a gander. So if I go to the middle point, about 50.
It's time to stop being intimidated by these online overnight activists who couldn't even point to Gaza on a map before October.
Okay.
The Orientalist perspectives, not realizing
It's Hasan.
For 51 days. Though only 17 years old, she witnessed the murder of her father and sister
This
on
is
that
about
day,
the systematic
and is now
rapes?
speaking
Or
out about what she witnessed in Gaza
the
as
rapes?
well in a new documentary by Sheryl Sandberg, Screams Before
Which
Silence.
is about denims.
In new footage, a gun
Thousands of deny the suffering done.
Oh, wait, what?
Hasan needs a rape kit from a mutilated body. It's so vile to deny the suffering and trauma of the victims just because you need your heroes at Hamas to be perfect. This conflict will never. Well, people are like,
a matter of fucking rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me.
Okay. Oh, here we are. There's a little bit here where he talks about Frogan. Wait. He talks about Frogan starting at 116. Talks about her until, well, about 123. And then he talks about the Sabra panel. Yeah, half the video is about you. That's right.
just going to get a pile of shit on top of her that I have no control over because people are watching. Millions of people are watching his video, by the way, and they're reacting to it. And they're not having good reactions
Not
to it.
just our audience.
Far from our own, yeah.
I think it's funny that you think me being in the iDubbbz video is what's going to cause this harassment. When in reality, it's you, Ethan. You're acting like you haven't spent the last year and a half doing everything in your power to push people to bully and harass me, including...
They've been mocking you, and it's their right to. I mean, you've been talking about him. You're a public figure. You've had, like, notable controversies that he's, like, discussed and commented on. Like, he's absolutely in his right to go for it. I mean, the question was, what is the point of having you in the content card? You've got no relevance there, right? You don't bring, like, a draw in terms of, like, an audience. You don't bring, like, a, I don't know, like, a substantive, like, oh, Frogan, I know her. She, like, argues for this, and, like, she has these positions, and she's just kind of, like, broadly kind of, like, pro-Palestine. Like, Hasan raids her. That's the question. But it's just, like, an offhand comment that he said while watching the content you.
Weaponizing propaganda organizations such as the ADL to get me banned off Twitch because I made a joke about you not being able to say Habibi. But no.
What?
It's iDubbbz, one of the only major creators besides Hasan who has actually defended me publicly in the last few months. This next section is about the double standards of Ethan's thinking. Let's get started with...
So is she saying his entire... Oh my god. his entire she summarizes the entire like Arab to Jew tier list thing, or the Arab, what is it, Arab to love Sabra, where Denham says there should be a tier for Zionist. She summarizes that as like, oh, you're just mad at me because I said that you love Sabra. It's okay. This doesn't feel like the most honest engagement from Frogan. I've got to be honest. Who has she made this for? I don't understand what the point is of making this. Is this making this so Ethan goes over it? But then if she's so worried about like him like essentially just mocking her, then what? I don't understand the purpose behind this. I've got no clue.
With this clip.
Personally, though.
This next section is about the double standards of Ethan's thinking. Let's get started with this clip.
Personally, though, and I've seen Hasan do this before, is he's accused me of it. He goes, "Oh, you just hate Muslims." It's like, bro, can you actually just can you actually please just respond to a real argument? Like, please, bro. You know, he just like, you can't just sweep everything away by saying that. It's just not right. Are people very cruel to her? Yeah, for sure. You know, it's just, I don't know, man.
I don't know how to explain this to you, Ethan, because this is something you claim all the time, but some people are actually racist. Ethan claims people are mean to him all the time.
Okay. So Ethan is complaining. I'm assuming the criticism, or the criticism that I might at least get from that is Hasan. Ethan seems annoyed that Hasan, instead of engaging with him, is saying, "You just hate Muslims," but then he's accusing people of anti-Semitism. I'm pretty sure that if Ethan's done that, it's probably not because they've made like a supportive like argument towards like Palestine. Pretty sure he's said quite publicly that he's got like very favorable views about Palestine and like very negative views about how like Israel's conducting the war. So if I had to make the argument, it'd be a hypocrisy between those. He doesn't like being called Islamophobic, but he calls others anti-Semitic.
Time because they're racist, using his religion as a shield to criticism, as he claims people are doing to me. A lot of the comments I get are
using his religion. He's not religious. Sorry.
People are actually racist. Ethan claims people are mean to him all the time because they're racist, using his religion as a shield to criticism, as he...
Does Ethan say that he's only criticized by people who are like genuinely anti-Semitic? You might say he throws that around too much, but it's absolutely not like a religious thing that he's throwing around. It's like his ethnicity. Oh my god. Okay.
He claims people are doing to me. A lot of the comments I get are about me being a hijabi and me being Muslim. So no, people are not more charitable to me because I wear the hijab, and I wish that was the case.
Wait, does he say that? I mean, if he says that in this next clip, I'll pause Andy. I'll take that.
I have never, they accuse me of doing it. They go, "Oh, Ethan's just targeting Arab and Muslim creators." It's like, I have never one time mentioned her hijabi or brought anyone's fucking identity into my criticism of them.
You haven't said anything about me being Muslim directly, but your ideas about Muslims are pretty obvious from what you say.
Whoa! Okay. His ideas about Muslims are pretty obvious from what he says. Okay. Okay. So he hasn't even... Oh my god, she's complaining about the fact that people call her a hijabi or make fun of the fact she's Muslim. But then Ethan explicitly says, "I don't do that." And she's like, "Well, not directly. You don't directly make fun of me for wearing a hijab. But you might be Islamophobic." I mean, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes.
Here are a few of many examples.
Why don't you just make it easier? Why don't you just fly to ISIS and do them a favor and just let them, you know, just serve yourself on a platter for them because you deserve it.
What's this in reference to?
Like, I think per capita...
What's that in reference to?
And do them a favor and just let them, you know, just serve yourself on a platter for them because you deserve it.
Okay. Enjoy your drugs and being a sex worker. Hamas would kill you on the spot. Yeah?
Like, I think per capita, a lot of the weird fucking terrorism and crimes and shit, I mean, there's definitely some strong thread of violence through the Muslim community.
Yeah.
Or Arab Muslims, to be more specific.
Or when
The next thing I want to bring up are the double standards.
There was a date on the first one. I'm guessing the tweet was dated on the second one. The third? Was this not around the time that we were facing like a huge torrent of Islamic violence and Islamic terrorism? Or Islamist rather, not Islamic, pardon me. Of Islamist terrorism. Okay. Maybe you can make an argument there, but I just don't get it. I don't see it.
Both Ethan and Gila have for themselves. Let's get started with this clip.
We misspoke. It didn't sound good. We immediately corrected ourselves. You know, that's how mature people do. That's how how you're supposed to handle yourself, isn't it? Like, what more do you want me to do?
Okay.
I have no problem apologizing and admitting and whatever.
So that's in reference to the Gallant clip. If you don't know, I don't know if she's going to show the actual context of the statement, but I think they were lamenting the fact that Netanyahu had fired Gallant, and they were saying that, oh, he's like a really good guy in the cabinet or whatever. But he said like things about like Gazans and is it Hamas? Is he talking about Gaza? It's not really clear, but he's an Israeli war hawk who wants to like basically like flatten Gaza. If you want to talk about it like broadly and just give like a rough estimation of like where he's at. And yet, he was a moderating force in the cabinet. And while he might not be like a good guy, like a guy we like, right? He's absolutely like a moderating voice in the cabinet. And he was trying to, the reason why he was fired was because he was trying to moderate Netanyahu's position on how he's going to conduct himself during the war. That was why he got fired. So, is he overall a good guy? No. Is he a good guy in the context of the current like Israeli cabinet? Yes. It's just such a ridiculous criticism.
Is needed when things happen.
This was in response to people bringing up how Gila said Yoav Gallant was a great guy, even though he's literally a war criminal and pro-genocide. I'm a live streamer as well. I know being live for hours and hours on end, you can misspeak, and that is exactly what happened whenever I said the thing about the U.S. military. I said it in a way in which I didn't mean, and I also clarified it on Twitter by saying the U.S. military has conducted some of the most horrific crimes against humanity.
No! What do you mean? This is not a clarification. This is doubling down, no? Okay.
In the modern era in countries such as Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Lebanon, and Palestine. My anger is directed at individuals who are currently championing these war crimes as if they liberated my people. It's horrific and disgusting. The beginning of the clip was worded poorly, and I do apologize for that. I go on to clarify in the clip that I do not mean all military, but specifically those with no remorse. What I said was out of frustration as they are currently bombing my family in the name of liberation. I realize that wishing people harm isn't the best way to talk about these issues and that I could have talked about these topics in a more sensitive way. And like I said initially, I'm not granted that charitability at all.
Dude, okay, I found the clip. Unfortunately, it does come from Yeet, but this is Frogan reacting to her clip at the time. She doubled down on it, dude. Okay.
Student loans, fuck you. Camaro, no student loans, fuck you. I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America. And they posted it in my head. I'm like, base?
I thought it was a misspeak.
Base?
Base? I thought it was a misspeak. It was a horrible, horrendous misspeak that you regretted, no?
Like, am I supposed to be like I'm not walking back. Camaro, no student loans, fuck you.
You're not, huh? You're not what? What was that last second again? What was that last second again?
Supposed to be like I'm not walking back. Camaro.
Oh, okay, so you're not walking back on it. Okay, so you're doubling down on it. Nikandros, Dickers, I sent you the original PTSD clip. Is this the original? Look at me. Is this the original? Because I'm looking at the post, and it... You know, I'll just show what you sent me, okay? I'll just...
U.S. military? U.S. military?
Now... It's my belief, okay, that I think that might have been edited somewhat. The text, that's not the original text that she had on her live stream, okay? I think what only can be described as mountain lion noises, I believe those were also edited in, okay? I think I had bad YouTube DLP settings. I guess so, because look at the video. I mean, you've clearly added this text, and then like the video just like repeats and loops itself. And then what audio is this from?
U.S. military?
I disavow in the strongest possible terms, okay? I disavow in the strongest possible terms. But getting back to it, okay? Thank you, Nagandros. Getting back to it. Like, she spoke about this at the time. Like, she's showing what she said there. But she's talking about, oh, like I said in the clip, I don't mean all of them. Those who have remorse for what they do. Remorse. What, veterans have to have remorse for their service for you to not wish PTSD upon them. That's not even a walk back. That's just like a clarification. Well, I guess that's what she said. She clarified or whatever, what she was talking about. I mean, but it's just like, this is such a bold-faced lie that that's not what you meant, or that was like a misspeak or whatever. You clarified afterwards that, like, what, am I supposed to walk this back? Based? I mean, it's a funny voice line, but I don't... Okay.
I want to explain it because people bring it up nonstop. I apologize for it right away when Ethan made a video to address this on his Ethan Klein channel.
You should show the original.
Next day, I think
made a quick appearance in that video just to say, I'm sorry, I misspoke. I shouldn't have called him a really good guy. Like, I don't know why I said it like that.
What more do you want from me? I did the same exact thing.
Is she serious? Is she serious? No way she's serious, dude. She did the exact same thing. No, you didn't.
No student loans? Fuck you. I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you
Like
get back
tittering and like
America.
giggling.
And they posted it in my head. I'm like, base? Based?
This was the response.
Like, am I supposed to be like I'm not walking back on Camaro.
Oh, you're not walking back on it. Sorry.
Like that.
What more do you want from me?
What more do you want from her, guys? But you can't get blood from a stone. She apologized. Well, she didn't apologize. She clarified, okay? Not all black people, not all US service members.
Did the same exact thing. Now we're moving on to the infamous button. So during the react to the content cop, AB started talking and the button was pushed. Here's the clip.
Authorities block healthcare to Gaza. Again, I'm not. Do you think that I'm talking about walking around Gaza? When I say how great multicultural it is?
We
did
never
you think
defended
that?
how Israel attacked Gaza since October 7th, not even once. We never
I think that's
co-signed what they did.
Is that not the point he's making though?
What?
That you're talking about how nice Israel is, but
Israel proper is different from Gaza.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Millions
right now, say
Muslims in Israel.
I guess that's where the
And that's the end of the clip because the button was pushed. Anytime any member of the crew gives Ethan any type of pushback, the button is pushed. And he wants to say that I'm surrounded by yes men and people can never criticize me.
What? Okay, I fucking hate this Dan guy, okay? I hate the Dan guy in H3H3. Because he's constantly, whenever Ethan is starting to cook on a point that I agree with, to be fair, He does give good pushback when Ethan is like about to say something like totally retarded, to be fair, okay? I'll give him that grace, okay? But sometimes when I completely agree with Ethan, and I just want him to like go fucking ham on somebody or on a point I agree with, he's always there to be, oh, well, Ethan, haven't you considered, oh, Ethan, what about the, oh, Ethan, I'm not sure. Constantly, okay? It seems like what happened there is it's a disagreement between him and AB, and then somebody else weighs in, and then it's, well, there's this other thing, and it's like, okay, let's just have this discussion off camera just to like, because it's becoming a thing, it's becoming awkward.
Like that you're talking about how nice Israel is, but
Israel proper is different from Gaza.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Millions
right now, say
Muslims in Israel.
I guess that's where the
And that's
I mean, it's an awkward clip, yeah. But it's not any time that anyone gives him pushback.
Because the button was pushed. Anytime any member of the crew gives Ethan any type of pushback, the button is pushed.
That's insanely
and
excessive.
He wants to say that I'm surrounded by yes men and people can never criticize me when he doesn't allow his staff that are part of the show to give him any critique or pushback whatsoever. During the live show today, some of the crew defended me and I appreciate it so much. And during this episode, AB mentioned that the most recent time we talked, him and I had a disagreement.
People are saying stop being friends with her. You guys don't know. I have not talked to her in forever, and the last time we did talk, we had a disagreement. Like where is this coming from? Like I don't understand.
This disagreement was a DM I sent him, which stated, "Hey AB, I wanted to reach out privately because responding publicly."
A DM? That's not a DM. That's a novella out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, bro. Okay, I understand. What did he respond to this?
To the dog pile doesn't feel right. I understand.
Look at the button. Look at the button. There's more. Okay.
And that people often overlook how tough the job market is, and I get that working for Ethan puts you in a complicated position. That said, I think what pushed people over the edge was a clip of you baiting pro-Palestinian people and blocking them. The criticism you're receiving is largely because people believe you're better than that and don't subscribe to Ethan's views. I know you've been vocal about Palestine, but I think it's important to explicitly clarify that you don't share his beliefs and that you stand on your own.
Fuck off! Fuck off! What do you mean? You want to get in between and say the thing that I need to do to like interact with my boss publicly. I want to reach out privately, responding publicly, added to the dog pile. It doesn't feel right. I understand people overlook how tough the job market is. I know people often overlook how tough the job market is. And I get that working for Ethan puts you in a complicated situation. Go away. Why the f*** are you getting into this guy's business? Have you had like a close friendship with him before? This is a weird, invasive, kind of like parasocial text message to get. Very like judgy and passive aggressive. How is there any way to respond to this message and say like, no, like, please don't talk about my shit anymore? Right? This is essentially like a demand. This isn't an open conversation. This isn't an open conversation at all. No, AB just feels responsible for her. He told her to move to LA from Dearborn. If anything, she'd always have them to back her. Huh? Oh no! Use punctuation, didn't capitalize. I don't want to say it, okay? I don't want to say it. Gecko is on my ass for being misogynistic. So I'm not going to say it. With the nails. Okay.
Ethan is not worth the bullshit you have to deal with working for him. Honestly, there have been times where I felt anger towards you, but after some reflection, I wanted to approach you directly. I'm saying this as someone who was personally impacted by Ethan and as a cousin. I hope you understand where I'm coming from.
As a cousin? Okay, if you don't know, I don't believe they are actually related at all, okay? When she's saying as a cousin, it's like because we're both like vaguely Arab. Oh my god. It's like a black person like saying to send a message to somebody else. It's like, I just want to say this like as a brother, you know? I just want to say this as a brother. It's weirdly fucking bringing up the fact that you're of the same race as each other. Very fucking weird. Okay.
AB didn't respond, and that's perfectly fine. I didn't expect him to. You know, I just wanted to get my feelings out. Although AB and I haven't talked in a long time, he's still somebody I care about. You know what I mean? He's like a cousin. You know, we have that bond. We're both from Dearborn. So it's like we're literally cousins. Not literally, but I don't know AB's motivations or what he feels because I'm on the outside at this point. So I am just giving my perspective from somebody on the outside. I will say the invalid points of criticism towards AB is trying to question him as an Arab, which is completely fucked up and wrong.
Wait, weren't you? Okay.
Giving my perspective from somebody on the outside. I will say the invalid points of criticism towards AB is trying to question him as an Arab, which is completely fucked up and wrong. Nobody should do that. You know, it is valid to criticize him for still working for Ethan and being silent for as long as he was. Those are valid points of criticism. But don't.
How? No, it's not. No, it's not. Ethan is like, I feel people have got this idea that Ethan is like this frothing fucking like rabid Zionist. He's just not. That's just not true. AB should have to call out Ethan, the guy that he works with. Why? What is that going to change? It's literal virtue signaling. I mean, I don't like the fucking virtue signaling memes or whatever. I feel like a lot of the time it's just like very annoying. Like, yeah, people talk about their politics, people describe their politics. It's not always virtue signaling. It's literally requesting like a virtue signal from the guy. Okay. But Frogan's here to tell us which criticisms are and aren't valid. Okay.
Don't try to take away his Arabness because you don't agree with him. Whenever AB started streaming on Twitch, I was the first person to rate him, and I even helped him whenever he asked me for advice on what to stream. AB has also helped me in many ways as well. Even a long time ago, AB included me in an H3 episode talking about why people should visit Dearborn. Here's a screenshot. It's from like 2023, I believe. He was also super supportive whenever I was nominated and won the Streamer Award.
All right, and the award goes to...
Chala.
Frogan.
Frogan. She's even in her own clip. Oh my god. Sorry, go on.
You did it, sister!
And to be quite honest, like watching this clip back made me really sad because of basically the outcome of what this has become. You know what I mean? And I have nothing but love for AB and Lena, and I wish them the best. And maybe in the future we can.
Are you literally crying right now? Are you literally crying as if there's been like a rift in the friendship? Yes, the rift is you. The rift is you. You're sending like weird messages, like invading what is essentially his business, telling him what his obligations are, and then show clips that show him to be like essentially nothing but like a kind friend to you, or like generally like a nice guy. And then you're crying now, recounting that you've lost touch. But yes, you've lost touch. You're a complete freak. She likes her cousin so much, she makes his day. She makes his day life harder by pressuring him to lose his well-paying job. Well, people neglect to mention, okay, that the job market is hard. Dude, how weirdly invasive.
Be friends again, to be honest.
Before she moved out here, I remember us talking and she was nervous about it. And I said, at the end of the day, you'll have me and Lena, like worst comes to worst. And then shit just hit the fucking fan.
Yeah.
Before.
And to those who are constantly defending me and having my back, I appreciate you and thank you so much.
You're the shit.
You know, during a time like this.
You're the shit and the fan. It's an issue in your relationship that you created and then pushed to extremes. What are you complaining about? You fucking did it. I don't understand what our criticism is here. And also, I think AB, dude, I mean, even this, he said quite clearly before, he does not like being the focal point of criticism against Ethan from people who feel like they can worm their way into like into the organization somehow by getting like one of the producers to leave the show. Very weird, very weird, and very weirdly manipulative as well.
It feels like the damage has been done physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially.
The damage has been done physically. I mean, yeah, your kneecaps are never going to recover. Your hip joints, you can kiss them goodbye, okay? Flexibility. I mean, the Ozempic's been good, but touching the toes is it may never be possible. It may never be possible, even now.
Actually, but after a year and a half of harassment, it feels very calming that people are actually finally on my side. It's been a nightmare for me. On a more positive note, here are some of my
you criticize Ethan for being like, oh, I'm surrounded by yes men. I'm surrounded by yes men, and you feel like people are finally on your side. You feel like people are finally on your side. Who's on your side? Who's on your side? Has anyone watched the content cop and been like, oh yeah, she's fine. Frogan is finally No. Who are you? Who are you?
harassment? It feels very calming that people are actually finally on my side. It's been a nightmare for me. On a more positive note, here are some of my favorite pictures taken at the shoot of the content cop bit. Of course, I got to see Kaya. I love her to death. And here are a couple pictures. To Ethan, if you're watching this for some reason, my message to you is that, you and I have different worldviews, and you and I have different ideas for what is the best way to help people. And, while I appreciate the spirit of your advocacy, I think it's misguided. After all of this, you've made my life hell.
You parasocial. Ethan is okay. Ethan Klein is maybe one of the nicest people. If you're gonna have like a commentator or somebody who like has a podcast who talks about like current events, like going for you, I feel like there's like up top people you don't want is like, I don't know, people who actually like advocate like doxing, harassment, deplatforming, right? Those are bad. Then you've got people who'll do like harsh criticism of you. I guess like maybe Chud, Queeman, kind of Red Bar, people like that. All the way at the bottom, probably, he might make some edgy jokes, but he's always going to disavow like harassment and bullying. He's never going to encourage anybody to do that. And in fact, he says, it's fine, Frogan, don't talk about me, just chill out. And he won't talk about you. He made your life hell. I don't. Dude, this is insane. Okay.
Oh, I will say that. You've made my life. But at the end of the day, what I said at the end of the content cop still stands. I wish you the best.
Weird, manipulative, parasocial freak. I don't know what else I can say. I don't know what else there is to say about that. Frogan is a very weird person. He's a very, very weird individual. Very dislikable. Very dislikable. I stand by what I said at the start. Hasan, redeeming qualities. A myriad of other like Palestinian voices that you might disagree with like politically. Or even Israeli people, right? Or Israeli people, pro-Israel people, right? On both sides. On both sides, you can absolutely say, while I might disagree with their politics, and I might think they make like stupid points, at the end of the day, they've got redeeming qualities. Hasan, he's funny sometimes, and sometimes he calls out people in just the right way, and you kind of agree with him. It's like, yes, okay, I like him. Frogan has got none of those. And Frogan still has none of those after watching that video, but there we are.